Bon. Ok. So. Je fais un live, by the way, bébé. Là. Juste te le dire pour pas que tu penses que je deviens schizophrène quand je parle dans mon coin. Mais je deviens schizophrène pareil pendant que je parle dans mon coin. On va me partir une nouvelle game. M'enlever un mérite distingué, puis mettre culte de la mort. Donc on a réanimateur, culte de la mort. So necromancer and cult of the dead. Ok. Je vais le mettre en anglais. Perfect. So new game. Select Empire. Silver Empire. Mortal Empire. Ravenous Eye. Criminal Syndicate. Representative Democracy. Military Junta. Star Empire. Ooh, Star Empire, that sounds good. Moral Democracy. Illuminated Autocracy. Holy Tribunal. Plutocracy. Plutocratic Oligarchy. The fuck is a plutocratic oligarchy? Constitutional dictatorship. Feudal empire. Okay, so we're starting. Let's see what the seeds looks like. And our seed is not that great. Not that great. But at least we have a pocket and maybe a good planet that we could colonize, but I don't think I'm gonna be lucky with that. I really don't fucking think I'm gonna be lucky with that planet. So oh no, I wanted the study. Okay, so let's start with that, and I'm gonna target system. No, no, I'm gonna start by that one, then that one, then that one, then that one, and then that one. Okay. Okay. Now we'll do that. We start with that. Okay. Silver Daughter Mania Coponia is the new heir. Okay, it's good. Now, what my conceal look like? Okay, yeah, that's right. I gotta kill people. So how do I do that? I do that there. Sacrifice for bounty, harmony, or togetherness. I'm gonna go with togetherness. A palpable hush descends across the Silver Empire. Pilgrims have journeyed from near and far to the chosen place of worship, forming new friendship and rekindling old one along their way. Our society rituals have been observed and invested in the newly emerged mortals initiate. Though silent procession is said to have drawn smiles and tears alike, the principal death priest at Ilion led a warm sermon calling for the faithful to be nurturing and considerate of their relationship and to thrive in our mutuality. C'est drôle comment Chris je parle mieux en anglais qu'en français, tu trouves-tu? As each mortal initiate proceed to the sacrificial chamber, collective sight rang out. Each has met their end now, leaving a legacy in benevolent study. Honnêtement, je suis pas sûr. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new science ship. Oh yes. So it's gonna be science because it's always science. Why would you choose something else to start? I really don't know. I got an idol leader. Who's the fuck is idol? Gotta be, yeah, Silver Daughter. She's the governor, so I can't do shit with her. And I was not lucky. I knew I would not be lucky with that. Okay. So I'm gonna take that one, I think. Survey speed, yes. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna go there, then there, then there, then there. And after this, I'm gonna put it on autopilot. Oh, nice. Mm. Yeah, but we're xenophobic, so it's not that good. Hmm. Oh, nice, nice. Come on, be green, be green. Yellow. What's the percentage? If it's 60, I could take it. No, it's 55. I'm not gonna take it right now. Ooh, that could be good, but I think I'm gonna go with that bigger conceal. Ship and keep, army and keep. Archaeology, extraction site. I'm gonna go with eyes for talent. Uh, Stability +2. Edict font. No, I'm gonna go with that. Nice. Nice. That's good. That's really good for me. Okay. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna create this. Because I will need that for science because my science is really fucking shit right now. Oh no. Oh no. I fucking had to find the fucking sentinel. That's bullshit. The goddamn fortress. Je suis tombé sur la fucking forteresse énigmatique, ben. Ça rappelle la forteresse énigmatique?
Il me semble que c'était fucking top.
That's good. I want that. I need Jenny Clinic though. But I need food. I'm gonna start with the Jenny Clinic and then I'm gonna take food. Because it's worrying. We don't like people in here. Ah. Come on. Phew. Okay. So it survived. Because yeah, it's not the goddamn enigmatic fortress. Now I'm gonna create another science ship. And go with 3 of both. Oh, what? Why is there so many enemy around me? Gonna go with supremacy. Then I'm gonna go with improve Corvette all. Then okay, should be good. Should be good. Is it 60 now? No, it's still 55. I need about 5,000 power here. What's up, baby?
That's not his real name. That is the most Jewish name I've ever heard.
Notre il est devenu blanc. Il a fait comme Michael Jackson.
De quoi?
Sniper, il est devenu blanc, il a fait comme Michael Jackson.
Là?
That's crazy.
Il a touché des enfants?
Ta gueule!
Mais là, c'est toi qui m'as dit qu'il a fait comme Michael Jackson. Moi,
Like if Saul
dans mon head canon, c'est ça que Michael Jackson fait.
It's true, and that 3 of the 5 bombs were done by
That
Zionists.
sounds like the most insane Italian lawyer you've ever heard.
That's right. How does that explain 150,000 people leaving the fucking country? Thousands of years of civilization that have been there, 2,000 years, just picking up and leaving, almost virtually gone. How does that explain that?
Why is it
A few
that
bombs?
the Israeli government, why is it the Israeli government benefited from creating instability and making it seem as though these countries were uninhabitable? And why do you think that, despite the fact that Iraq and numerous other countries have offered Israelis or Jews a right to return,
Because
why
they
has
were
that
being
failed
fucking
on the Israeli front for numerous reasons?
Let me tell you
why,
a convenient fact for you,
arrived
son.
at that conclusion.
Let me tell you an inconvenient fact.
I wonder why that happened.
Before
Why
the
is
bombs
Israel
went
What? Hold on.
being established?
before the bombs went off, 100,000 of the 125 Jews were already registered to leave. Do you want to explain that?
Yes, Jews wanted to go to Israel, Ethan. They liked
Okay,
the
great.
idea
So let
of
me hear
going
what
to
Okay, so
Israel.
you're
You like Israel.
yeah, you're a
What do
liar.
you
You're a disgusting fucking propagandist liar. Here's what Avi Schleim actually
My
said.
research I established
Scumbag.
one bomb was lobbed, one hand grenade was lobbed by a young activist in the Istiklal party, which wanted to expel the Jews from Iraq and confiscate
Wait.
the properties.
Dude, the master lock destroyed the master lock.
Another bomb was another hand grenade was lobbed into the Masuda Shem Tov synagogue, and there 4 people were killed.
Oh
And
my
he was a
God.
criminal who had a grudge against the Jews, and it had nothing to do with the Mossad.
Did you hear that? The first two had nothing to do with Mossad. But let's continue to listen to the respected scholar Avi Schleim. You fucking liar. No, you listen to this fucking historian. Yes, you said they left by choice.
Holy shit,
They left because of
no
Zionism.
way.
They left because they were being
They had a place
threatened.
to go.
Let's
They
hear what
wanted to
your
go there.
respected historian has to say, you liar.
That's right.
Wait,
Even
Listen.
all this is true, the main reason
Oh, okay, this is fucking
for the
crazy.
Exodus
I don't even know
was
what
not
to
the
say.
bomb.
Okay, I was scared for a bit. I thought I had
It's not part of my argument.
I thought I had absolutely no material whatsoever in the zone I was expanding into.
That not a single Iraqi
So now
left Iraq to go to because
we got a little bit of things. It's
the state of Israel.
it's going
Created
up.
provide a safe haven for Jews.
You know, it's starting fairly slowly though. It's very very slow. Not fairly. It's very slow.
Because we were Zionists. We left because we were no longer safe. He wrote that in his book, 3 Worlds. Have you read that book?
No, I have not read 3 Worlds.
Okay, well, you're using a lot of sources.
Notice he's not like jumping in trying to take over the conversation anymore. He's completely chilled out.
It's a book that he wrote about his
It's not
migration.
the only book he wrote about this.
Dude, he's 1 HP right now. He literally just got knocked. Dude, Daddy knocked him down. What the fuck?
But go on.
Have you read any of the other ones?
Yes.
Dude, it's like a fucking dad, like attacking his, like not attacking, but like disciplining his child.
That's good. I'm gonna take that.
Really? Which ones?
Yes.
The book that I'm referencing is from the Iron Wall.
3 Worlds, okay? He writes
Yeah,
about his
Ethan just pulled out the belt and disciplined his kid.
time in Iraq. He writes about his time
Well,
in
actually, he disciplined Destiny's kid.
Israel. He writes about his time in the UK. In 3 Worlds, he writes
So
about his
I'm gonna take that, and then I'm gonna take that.
disorienting and not voluntary. They were not proud Zionist migrations. They were leaving.
I'm gonna
out of
take
fear.
this.
Ethan,
He said that himself.
Ethan,
He said, we did
My
not
friend.
leave Iraq because we were Zionists. We left because we were no longer
my
safe.
friend, you are failing to comprehend a very important reason why I brought up Avi Shlaim, by the way.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
please,
because he
please.
thinks he sports
We're
your claim,
all
but he
ears,
absolutely
Hassan. Why'd you bring him up?
does not.
We're all ears, Hassan.
That's why, because you're a fucking liar. Contend with what I said.
Hold on.
No.
Let me explain.
Contend with what I'm saying. He said we did not leave Iraq because we were Zionists. We left because we were no
Hmm.
longer safe. Do you want to explain what he meant?
I'm gonna go with engineering. It's gonna be best, inspired by a cosmic phenomenon. God, I love this update. C'est tellement le fun, cet update-là, parce que ça apporte comme des mini-histoires pour des personnages qu'avant ça, tu t'en colissais, là, c'était juste comme « Ah, ton chef de la science ». Maintenant, tes chefs de la science, ils ont des petites histoires qui vont popper comme ça, qui vont les rendre plus intéressants.
J'aime ça.
You are out of your mind. Okay, so what did the Jews and
What happened, bro? Dude, he was like completely silent, screamo mode. What the fuck, dude? I love this, dude. Nobody's ever pushed Hassan this far before.
You fucking moron! You racist piece of shit!
What?
With Iraq and the pan-Arabist
They
nationalist
left.
movements that arise out of
You are
Zionist
out of your
violence.
mind.
It's not about Palestinians.
Okay, so what did the Jews in Iraq have to do with fucking Israel? You bigot. You are so out of your mind.
And then
Jews leaving Iraq in fear?
Of course there were Iraqi Jews that left Iraq in fear. I've never said that there were no
Answer the
Iraqi
question.
Jews that
You
left
want to
Iraq
call
in
me
fear.
racist? Why were Iraqi Jews leaving to go to Israel?
This is like Hassan Sam Hyde moment. You're just realizing it now.
Because you're a fucking moron.
That's why they left it.
It's just him screaming because the point didn't end where he wanted it to.
That's because I'm a fucking moron.
That Arabs are
Hassan,
not
you
one-minded.
coward.
That there
You
were numerous
coward.
pan-Arabic
Answer the question. You're going to call me racist, but you won't answer. Why did the Iraqi Jews leave Iraq?
There were numerous
Because of
reasons why the Israeli
anti-Semitism.
government...
They hated Jewish people. They had nothing to do with Israel. They were forced to leave. They were chased out. They lived there for thousands of years. They had businesses. They had homes, and they were forced to.
So it's going fairly well
The Jews living
for
there had nothing
now.
to do with Zionism or Israel.
I will soon close the circle, and then I will try to take that and that, but it will take certain amount of time to do.
I will say this looks really fucking awesome. I don't know the fucking history of this region or any of that stuff, so I can't comment on what you did here. But this looks really awesome.
Your point. You call me racist.
I'm gonna put another sacrificial temple and another science lab.
You're materially wrong. You're a liar.
Recognize that there were numerous reasons why other countries, I know, hard concept, all Arabs,
Yeah.
they all have the same
I know.
mindset.
Let's go
Other
over them,
countries,
genius.
the
I will say though, I'm more inclined to believe Ethan because every other word out of Hassan's mouth since this fucking argument started is you are a racist, Islamophobic racist, 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 racist.
The nationalist movements as states
Let's go
were
over
being
them.
dissolved.
All Browns look the same, eh, Ethan? Yeah, I mean that doesn't really bode well for the comparison.
In Egypt.
Mostly by Western
Let's talk
nations.
facts. Let's talk facts.
Ethan,
In
you
Egypt.
got fucking a ChatGPT summary. Let me
Hey,
explain to you
Hassan,
so
let
you can
me-
fucking not look like a
Bro,
dumbass.
is your ChatGPT broken, dude? Fucking counter.
Okay, do you want to listen or do you just want to add?
No, I want to tell you.
Oh, it's going well. I mean,
You call me racist.
it's not fantastic right now because there's not a lot of
Left because they were in fear of anti-Semitism. They had nothing to do with Israel.
I don't win a lot of material and shit, but I mean,
The war in 1948.
yeah, so it's going well either. But that it's going very well.
Also recognize that.
No, you're not. You are absolutely not. In Egypt, 75,000 Jews were displaced. Okay? Following anti-Jewish riots and
Can you do coffee, my marvelous baby?
Is Iraq Palestinian? Why were the Palestinians
I would kill for your good coffee that you do.
have offered the Jews that were expelled or left on their own
It's time to listen,
voluntarily?
son.
These are completely separate
Nobody's
countries.
justifying
It's just not relevant to the
the Nakba.
Packaging them together
No,
to
no one
make
is
a
justifying the
horrifying
Nakba. I'm
position.
explaining how it's fucking insanely racist to discredit the plight, the running
No, you're
of
fucking
discrimination.
racist. Don't discredit the plight.
But I'm not justifying the Nakba. You seem to be justifying why Jews were chased out of their home country.
No, I'm not, Ethan.
Why'd they leave?
I'm not
Why'd they
justifying
leave?
that at all.
Why'd they
You
leave?
think that. You think that because you want to drive home a point. That
Why
this
did they
is
leave their
anti-Semitic.
communities that have been there for
It feels pretty driven.
2,000 years, leaving their money, their businesses, their homes? Why did they leave?
You'll understand. Do you think Iraq is Palestine? Do you think Egypt
Yeah, no, you're like screeching. No, you're racist is really good, dude.
is Palestine?
It's a really good rebuttal.
But he's defending the Nakba.
Do you think that all Arabs are operating on antiquated anti-Semitism? And if your answer is yes, why the flip?
What the fuck is that light? Did he get that commissioned himself behind him? The fucking the ripped bodybuilder Hassan Piker light in the background of his son. I'm sorry, I just like locked eyes with that. What is that? I just noticed this. This is like extremely fucking cringy because his muscles are already big.
Anti-Jewish riots broke out. After the war, Hassan, you need to shut the fuck up and listen, okay? After the war, okay, in 1948, there was anti-Jewish riots and bombs in Egypt. Why was that? Because of the Jews? The Jews brought it on themselves? Following the establishment of the Israel. So they left because Zionism. So they left because Zionism.
Dude, holy shit, even Tourette's are on his side in this debate, dude. Everything is going his way.
And if you were to listen to my words, and I use them very carefully,
I'm gonna use strong on our own. Then I can have my master necromancer. More unity from my necromancer. I'm gonna put.
Some of them were direct pogroms. Others were.
No, she's main. She will die soon. No.
Hearing anything I'm saying, you're so conditioned.
Okay. Well, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be here.
A series of bombs targeted Jewish areas in Cairo between June and September. They killed 70 Jews, injured 200. They confiscated Jewish-owned businesses and synagogues were attacked and destroyed. Okay? In 1956, the Suez Crisis. 1956, when
Planned violence and extermination campaign.
approximately 25,000 Jews were expelled from Egypt.
Falsely misplaced hostility.
25,000 Jews were expelled. So are you blaming them? Well, are you blaming the Jews for getting?
Je viens de gagner une game à cause que le gars il a fait un mauvais move. Il y avait son ex, un Pokémon ex, fait qu'il faisait 120 dégâts.
J'ai pas compris parce que j'ai deux casques.
Oh mon dieu, ouais, j'avais pas remarqué. J'avais dit que je viens de gagner un combat de Pokémon parce que le gars il a fait un mauvais move. Il aurait pu me battre, mais au lieu de finir mon simulable, il a décidé de prendre un de mes Lucario. Parce qu'il faisait 120 dégâts, fait que les
Après ça, tu as ramené ton simulable, tu
puis
l'as tué.
puis avec l'autre Lucario, il faisait exactement le nombre de dégâts qu'il fallait pour le tuer.
LOL.
C'était simulable, fait qu'il faisait 50 parce que c'était un ex, plus le 20 Lucario, il restait 70.
Le simulable, c'est une carte qui est vraiment underrated.
Ouais, elle arrive elle est au bon moment, là. Genre, je veux dire, au lieu de faire 20, elle fait 50 dégâts.
Moi, je commence, je mets tout le temps mon simulable en premier.
Moi aussi. Comme ça, genre, quand je l'ai, comme ça, genre, quand j'ai un Lucario, le simulable fait plus mal, puis j'essaie de protéger mes Lucario pour avoir le boost de dégâts. Parce que s'il avait décidé de tuer mon simulable, il m'aurait manqué une énergie pour attaquer avec Lucario, puis même là, il me manquait 10 dégâts pour le tuer, fait qu'il m'aurait battu s'il n'aurait pas changé de Pokémon. Mais il a décidé d'échanger mon Pokémon.
Okay, right. So my point is very simple. They were expelled from their homes because of anti-Semitism. Sorry, what is wrong about that? What is wrong with it? They were expelled. They were. Hassan, please, you gotta fucking answer the question. They were English and French. They were expelled.
What are you talking
They were
about?
expelled because of anti-Semitism. What did I say wrong? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Algeria was under French occupation. It is the design where the French occupied Algeria did not squash the attempts of expelling Jews. I'm not saying that there wasn't.
Most Algerians were French citizens and went to France.
That caused Jews to feel unsafe.
95% of Algeria's 140,000 Jewish population.
Individuals, often sometimes Western powers, and what they allowed in those countries on the Palestinian plight. When you make this comparison, that's what
Is it
I'm saying.
anti-Semitic for Jewish people to get kicked out of their
Armenian
homes?
genocide, right? The Turkish, the Ottoman Empire, and the forces and the Ottoman genocide that they conducted a mass extermination campaign is because other fucking random countries.
That's good.
That happened after independence and it hasn't the pogrom happened as a direct result of the war. By the way, did you say
necessary voluntary migration?
By the way, did you say? Oh my God, bro! Did you say Anne Frank died before she could resist? I don't know if that was a fever dream.
Yeah, he did. He did say that.
I'm saying that, like, if you have an issue with Anne Frank, if she actually was.
Sorry, I just thought it was an insane thing to say. I'm not trying to litigate it. In Tripoli.
Yeah, I wanted to strike on the record that did occur. I don't know if I was hearing "wake up" being in my head, and I didn't know if you.
Jewish rights broke out amid post-war unrest. Synagogues
My point is, it's completely fucking crazy to say something like that.
burned. Jewish institutions were shut down.
What's your point about Anne Frank? Why are you trying to deflect away from what I'm saying here?
She was Anne Frank struck down before her prime. She was struck down.
So now I'm gonna research all the anomalies. So I will have bonuses.
Synagogues were burned. In Morocco, 250,000 Jews were expelled.
Too soon.
Anti-Jewish riots broke out in 1948. You'll notice most of these pogroms are happening in 1948 as a direct result of the war. The Arabs turned on their Jewish populace out of anti-Semitism. Period. Point blank. June 7 to 8, 1948.
In some ways, you could say that terrorist Luffy has gone and done what Anne Frank wishes she could have.
In northeastern Morocco, following the Declaration of State of Independence of the State of Israel on May 14, 1948, anti-Jewish riots erupted in the town of Jarada. These towns were significant transit points for Moroccan Jews seeking to immigrate. 47 Jews were killed, many were injured. Jewish homes and businesses were looted and destroyed. In 1950-1960, harassment and immigration. The year following 1948 riot.
You know what's crazy is that Ian has literally docked his boat with these people, and Hassan literally supports pirates okay? Like, whilst he goes to Creator Clash, shakes hands with everybody, engages with all of the amenities, alright? This guy is literally pro-pirate. And those pirates, from what I've been told, are the reason why Creator Clash 2 didn't break even or donate enough money to charity. Isn't that insane? Because I've been told that the pirates are what's preventing it. If we go by what Ian has said.
Jews face increased pressure. These factors contribute to a significant immigration of Jews from Morocco. Immigration to Israel was banned in 1959. But before that, 274,000 Moroccan Jews immigrated primarily to Israel. Yemen and Aden. Yemen,
when you said you weren't a
50,000.
Zionist?
Right.
When you said you weren't a Zionist?
Yeah, it's a Creator Clash. Oh, dude, a Creator Crash out, dude.
These are direct Zionists talking.
This is historical.
Nice destroyers that I need. I need that too. Yeah, I need that before the other.
Because we were afraid.
That's the difference. If you ask Abby Schlaim whether it's possible to say that Nakba, that 900,000 Jews
I'm not defending the Nakba.
from separate countries, he would laugh
You're
at
a
you.
failure
Do you not
to
understand?
acknowledge
I
the
know you're
trauma
not
of both
farmers,
groups.
but
It's
you
the
don't
reason.
You have failed, sir. Good day.
Why? You are a radical fucking propagandist liar. Both trauma needs to be acknowledged by both groups. There's two things that need to be true for this ever to be resolved peacefully.
You're right. I'm
Palestinian
sorry.
self-determination and Israel's right to have secure
Alright,
borders.
but do you think that Ethan could make these arguments without the coke? I'm kidding. Dude, if he was like no coke, do you think he'd be like totally losing this debate right now?
Here's why you are
I've been reading a lot of
Okay.
he does a lot of coke.
So now the project is started.
acknowledged by both groups. There's two things that need to be true for this ever to be resolved peacefully.
Discontinue.
Sea salt, you know?
Palestinian self-determination and Israel's right to have secure
My source is Twitter.
borders. As long as you ignore that, there will always be war. Palestinians will always die, and you will continue to make money from it. Operation Magic Carpet. Jews were secretly airlifted to Israel due to rising hostility. 50,000 were relocated to Egypt. 230,000 after.
The PLO did recognize that, and they wanted those countries to actually do a right to return for all Jews. Why did Israel stop that from happening, Ethan? Don't you think that Zionism is the problem here?
Avi Schleim said,
Oh, what happened? They didn't fucking send you that clip? They didn't send you that piece of information? So the
Avi
PLO,
Schleim.
the people that don't care about Jewish plight, actually can see
The guy who
all the
oversaw
things
the
that
second
happened to Jews
Intifada.
and wanted
Yeah.
and do a right to return if they wanted to. Into their nation of origin. As a matter of fact, and yet Israel
Long range stealth bomber. Record of the ship comms revealed it was hacked by a rebel guerrilla on its way to perform a strike against the secret complex called the Xvan Lab. Said to hold a weapon so powerful it could win them the war. Oh yeah, we'll send the crew to the lab. Why wouldn't we?
oh my god, you have no idea what my perspective on this is.
Of course it is.
Dude, what do you mean? Wait, okay, hold on, time out. Alright, remember before when I got caught up when he said, go watch my video? Well, why do I have to watch a clip, Hassan? I'm talking to you right now. Dude, it came all the way back, we're good, we actually got it.
Of me talking about this?
Being discriminated against. That is a historical fact. 6 days
Have you ever actually listened to a clip of
Now watching videos matter, dude.
because they were being discriminated against. That is a historical fact. 6 days
Have you ever actually listened to a clip of me talking about this?
Why would I watch it? I can talk to you. I can talk to you personally, man to man, you know?
Oh my god, you have no idea what my perspective on this is.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yelling at nothing.
What are you doing right now? What are you wasting
Oh
time
my
for,
god.
buddy?
This is the reason why
I have heard you talk about it time and time again.
I don't actually believe.
Bro, you are continually, okay, not acknowledging the trauma of Middle Eastern Jews.
Oh my
You characterize it like they left. Yes, I've seen it.
Have you ever listened to anything that's not 30 seconds long?
Bro, that's so ironic that you're saying that as you misquote Avi Schleim.
Yeah, I watched Content Nuke Hassan Piker. It was over an hour.
Yeah, it's because he was afraid and not because here's the clip. Here's the clip.
You're truly trying to get gotcha here. So you're
Here's the
fucking
clip.
farm a clip, but everyone's still gonna think you're a fucking loser.
Here's the clip.
I'm sorry. Just shut up and listen. If you want to
Here's the
actually
clip.
hear my
I'm
perspective.
shutting up and listening to you.
Okay, thank you. The Iraqi Jews. Because when anti-Semitism increases in the West,
I like how Hassan just sat there and took it. Did he get muted or did he really just shut up?
Israel sees that as a complementary tool to its Zionist project.
He literally just said, he's like, literally fucking talk to me, dude. I'm watching you anyway. And then he just shut up.
Anti-Semitism increases in the West. Israel sees that as a complementary tool to its Zionist project of bringing either all Jews to Israel or at least make Jews in the Western world that are outside of Israel, Jews in diaspora, support Israel because it gives additional credence to the argument. It gives
Yeah, not fantastic, but
if there is no Jewish state.
well, whatever.
Is the underpinning of the Zionist project in general.
Why did you not mention the anti-Semitism? You exclusively talk about Zionism being the reason for forcing them out. Why do you deny that they were expelled by force, the vast majority of them?
Ethan, if you think that is the
There
entire...
it is, Ethan. Ethan, calm down, Ethan. Give it a break, Ethan. You're being a little crazy.
Force, the vast majority of them.
Ethan, if you think that is the entirety of my perspective on this matter,
Illuminate me.
you listen to the amount of times that I've talked about this.
Bro, just
Okay?
explain yourself.
I'm trying.
I just watched the clip of you being very dismissive about the flight. And by the way, you've done it this whole time. You say that Zionism was
No,
the
I'm
main
dismissive
force.
about the aspect that this is beneficial to the Zionist project across the board because Israel wants all Jews to be constantly fucking terrified in any other country that's not Israel so that they can actually go and either support Israel if they're not in Israel or just move to Israel. That is the entire point. That is what Jabotinsky wanted, that is what Herzl wanted, and that is precisely what Benjamin Netanyahu wants as well. So in terms of my explanation, or what I come across as dismissive, is precisely the role that Israel itself played in this
Which was
process.
minuscule.
It was a mutually beneficial relationship
Minuscule.
and anti-Semitic pogroms.
Minuscule. What you fail to acknowledge is that the Jews were forced to become Zionists, not by choice, but by necessity, because the Arab countries turned on them after the war and forced them to go to the only state that they could go to.
The necessity for Israel to exist, which is what your position is, right?
I mean, it sounds decently accurate.
It's not about what was allowed or not. The Arabs created 1 million Zionists because they're anti-Semitic after the war of 1948 and fucking the rise of Arab nationalism. Do you deny that?
You brought up
Do you deny what I just said?
Wait,
Do you deny what I just said?
what are you saying again? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, Ethan sounds like he's right. Again, I don't know this. The politics stuff is not my strong suit. That's not why I want you.
Oui.
Approximately 700,000.
Prendre une douche puis je vais aller me coucher, ok?
Déjà?
Ben, je me suis quand même levé à 9
Ouais, je
heures.
sais.
Je me lève tôt, moi.
That's my point.
Je dis, je veillerais peut-être si je pourrais jouer à Borderlands, mais.
Tu veux que je te laisse la PlayStation?
Ben là, je viens de te redonner, c'est plate.
Je sais pas, je préfère que tu sois avec moi. C'est sûr que j'aime bien jouer à ça. Tu veux pas essayer un jeu sur Xbox? Il y en a plein.
Non.
Ah ouais, va prendre ta douche, puis je vais te laisser la PlayStation.
C'est sûr?
Ouais, ouais. Je préfère t'avoir avec moi.
Tu voulais la prendre avec moi?
Non, je vais en profiter pour jouer.
Mais tu devrais quand même avoir le temps de rejouer tantôt. Là. Tu sais, je me coucherai pas tard. Il est quoi? Il est presque 11 heures.
Hein?
D'ici une heure ou deux, je devrais être fini. Je devrais être topé. Là, je devrais aller me coucher.
Comme tu veux.
I'm sorry to say this, and I don't know if your audience gets this as well, but what you just said earlier is not an accurate reflection of history.
How do you know that? Wait, I'm confused. Hold on. Smaggle just said Ethan said he's anti-Arab. Where did he do that? Am I just like getting memes?
Racist.
Historical. And physicists left their houses because they wanted to go to Israel. Are you fucking mad? You
Remember
deny.
a while back I tweeted and you got really mad when I said that there's a double standard between Islamophobia
There's
and
absolutely a double standard, and you exhibit it, my
and
friend.
you're participating in it right now.
I'm being memed. Yeah, he didn't say that.
Not even
It's historical. I mean, I'm just telling you
Yeah, no,
literally
it's
what happened.
historical racism. All Arabs
They
are
were
not
racist.
responsible.
Do people never get racist? Do people never be I'm explaining why. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just explaining why. After the 1948 war, the rise of Arab nationalism created a lot of anti-Semitism, and that's why the vast majority of the Jews, the 900,000 of them, were forced to immigrate. That's a fact. That's a historical fact.
Ethan, I'm sorry to say this, and I don't know if your audience gets this as well, but what you just said earlier is not an accurate reflection of history. It's
How do you know that?
racism.
How do you know that?
How
do you know that it's not real?
It's pure racism. Oh my god. He just sat here rallying against the anti-Semitism shit for like the entire first half of this conversation. It's actually so painful to watch this guy talk.
Blame over.
It absolutely was the blame.
That's what everyone on Twitter keeps saying is the big gotcha, that Ethan is anti-Arab. Really?
At a time when every single one of these Arab countries
Absolutely.
with their own version of pan-Arabic nationalism,
They kicked them
half
out.
of them were already still controlled, by the way, by fucking European.
Smaggle, if you see a clip of them saying that, can you send it to me so I can see the isolated part they're saying is the part where you can see it's it?
Colonial powers like Vichy France.
That was literally just in Tunisia.
The Moroccan expulsion program, and you're using that as a similarity between the planned expulsion of 750,000 Palestinians.
The details are different, but you're denying. Once again, you're still not disproving me. What did I say that is hilariously racist and wrong?
Anti-German racism.
Don't make an analogy. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Pointing to anti-German
I don't need an analogy. I need facts from you. Why am I wrong?
It's as though you are
No.
anti-German racism happening during the fucking German conquest.
Tell me a fact, right? That proves that I'm wrong. That the vast majority of Jews fled because of anti-Semitism in the Arab states. Well, really,
It's not what you're
so I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't say anything wrong, but I'm racist.
It's the idea that all Arabs are fucking one-minded and not and have something to do with Palestinians in general. Yes, I never said that there wasn't anti-Arab anti-Jewish sentiment. That also.
Or the vast majority of Jews, did they leave because of anti-Semitism or Zionism?
The vast majority of Jews,
Good.
or Zionist purposes,
That's good.
You're not answering.
I don't even need that.
I don't care. That's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm not comparing that.
But I
Still,
still, I will take it.
of the fact that you want to tell the people in Israel to go back to where they came from. This is where they're from. They were forced to go to Israel.
They could right now. They could go tomorrow.
Really? The Iraqi Jews can go back to their home tomorrow. The Egyptian Jews can go back to their homes tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That is insane. You are fucking out of your
Yes, they
mind.
can.
Okay,
They
how? Tell me how.
absolutely can.
How did the Jews go back to their
They want to, but I understand why they would want to.
No, they want to. Why would
Yeah, they could.
How? How would they go back and reclaim their lost assets, their lost property?
There were literally different schemes designed
And by the way, how did they become citizens?
at different points throughout this 76-year-long, drawn-out apartheid structure. There were numerous instances where, yes, there was a right to return offered to Jews, and even restitution for the homes that they lost in the process. So yes, you're wrong. You simply don't know the facts. You are wrong.
You won't say what
They
fact I'm
could.
getting wrong.
I just told you.
Did the vast majority of Jews immigrate to Israel following 1948 because of Zionism or because of anti-Semitism?
No. Don't run away
Answer
from
the
point,
fucking
because
question.
I don't discount anti-Semitism
No, but
as
answer
a
the
direct
question.
consequence of pan-Arabic nationalism that took place in numerous countries.
Answer the
I have
question.
issues with your comparison. Okay?
Who's comparing? You keep saying that. I'm not talking about the Nakba. I'm talking about your unwillingness to recognize Jewish plight. And a really important.
To say more Jews were displaced than Palestinians.
I think that's an interesting fact that you clearly don't fucking ever want to mention because it really messes up your beautiful little narrative.
Why did you bring that fact up right after you talked about the 1948 war?
Because the point is that two people were traumatized. There was two people that were traumatized. There was two people that were displaced unfairly. It was the Palestinians and it was the Middle Eastern Jews. They both have trauma. You failed to acknowledge one group. You shit on the other one.
Yeah, it seems pretty fucking reasonable. I don't know. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that when, like, Hassan is saying that Ethan doesn't cover the Palestinian side of this conflict, and he's like, well, not that doesn't cover it, but he's spending significantly more time with the Israeli one, I do think that's some sort of, there's a bit of, what's it called? Like, hypocrisy at play. I think he's kind of, I can't even remember the fucking term. He's kind of describing himself, yeah.
I acknowledge both.
It's like every accusation is a confession.
All lives matter in the Nakba.
What? That isn't.
That's what you're doing. And you're also
Rejection, yeah. I literally just couldn't think of it.
How am I doing that?
You're attributing anti-Semitic violence in different countries.
At the same time, calling 1948 pan-Arab nationalism. You said that yourself. These 5 Arab countries were defeated in 1948, and they turned super fucking anti-Semitic as a result. They became ultra-nationalist Arabs. It became popular. As Israel declared independence, they said, "Fuck no, we don't want this country here." And yeah, they all became anti-Semitic. That's a historical fact.
You also failed to recognize that the Iraqi Jews have been allowed to return to Iraq, and there have been numerous instances where Jews were given an opportunity to return if they wanted to.
How many Jews live in Iraq?
What?
How many Jews?
I think 0 right now, but they can.
How many Jews live in the Middle East outside of Israel?
Why would
Virtually none. Where'd they go? If it was so fucking great for them.
Iraqi Jews not want to go to Iraq, you think, right now?
0 Jews. Virtually 0 Jews live outside of Israel in the Middle East.
Wasn't there was one singular Iraqi Jew, right? Like there was one guy. A singular Iraqi Jew.
Why is that? You don't think that none of them wanted to fucking stay at home? None of them.
Because there was
It's too slow. If I find somebody, he's gonna kick my ass. Problem is that I'm xenophobic, so if I found somebody, they gonna hate me. And there's clearly somebody there.
was a much more viable state for them.
Here's the problem.
The viability of said state, of course, is partially a consequence of the other countries and the hostility that people felt towards
You don't want to blame the Arabs.
This in and of itself, is the heart of the problem, because people conflate Zionism with Judaism.
Yo, we got some shekels coming through. This is exactly how I'm gonna get attacked, dude. They're gonna say the shekel people have come to give me my daily allowance.
That's what the Arabs did when they kicked them all out.
I know, and I don't think it's appropriate.
And so why are you blaming the Zionists and not the fucking Arabs for being racist? Why do you deny the Jewish trauma? Why do you deny the 900,000 traumatized Jews that were forced, including, by the way, what you keep ignoring, Avi Schleim. Avi Schleim said we didn't leave Iraq because we were Zionists. We left because we were afraid. Are you hearing that?
Ethan, do you blame the English for the Holocaust?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with righteousness.
Oh my god, dude. Let's get some abstract theory going. Let's go.
Who did the Holocaust, Ethan?
Just fucking make your point. I'm not playing this silly game.
Come on, who did the Holocaust? Just say it.
Make your point, dude. I'm not fucking.
Why not? I'm asking you a question. It's a super simple question.
Avi Schleim said we left Iraq.
Dude, I'll be Schleim to the Holocaust, dude. Yo!
Who was responsible for the Holocaust?
Why would I answer such a stupid rhetorical question? Just make your point.
Well, you know the answer to this, right? Like, come on, what are you looking at on your fucking computer? Like, which country
The enemies of World War II, of course.
is responsible for the Holocaust?
Anytime you want to make your point. I would appreciate if
What's
you.
happening? Dude, Dude, when you already okay, whatever. You
I
said
would appreciate if you would just
already
listen to one thing I would
already
say.
said that it wasn't the English, right? It's not the responsibility of the British that the Holocaust happened, right? You understand that? You recognize that?
Who is responsible for what's going on in Ukraine? Who is responsible to what's happening to the Uyghurs? Who is responsible for...
Right. Well, I would
What are your thoughts on Taiwan?
say the nation most directly guilty for the Holocaust was probably
That's what I would do. If he just starts deflecting, I would just start flinging random shit at him.
Nazi Germany.
Why does that even matter? Yeah.
It's a pretty bad finger.
Oh, Alec, I don't like your dumbass.
I mean, yes, it is. Okay. Notice how you don't actually
Fabulous
push
bitch.
every single fucking country. And there was plenty of anti-Semitism in England too. Notice how you don't fucking say all of Europe is responsible for the Holocaust.
Concentration camps.
When you say all Europe,
That's the thing, is if anybody false equivalences me, bro, I'm gonna just start flinging them all, dude. Oh yeah, you wanna play the false equivalence game? I can bog you down for 45 minutes. We'll ask every question in the book.
Okay,
the point is,
there's no Jews in the Middle East. None.
anti-Semitic.
Can you listen to one thing? I have one thing important to say that I really want you just to listen to, okay? Avi Schlein said they did not leave Iraq because they were Zionists. They left.
What? No. No, what do you mean no? No. No, 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 no. Why did Avi Schlein leave, dude? What happened? I'm conceiving right now. Hold on. How far back are we? How far back?
Already said that it wasn't the English, right? It's not the responsibility of the British that the Holocaust happened, right? You understand that? You recognize that, right?
Well, I would say the nation most directly guilty for the Holocaust was probably Nazi Germany.
Okay.
I would agree.
Did you just read that?
No, Alec,
Wait, guy reading from laptop entire stream reads. Okay.
I don't like your dumbass.
I mean, yes, it is. Okay. Notice how you don't actually
Fabulous
push
bitch.
every single fucking country. And there was plenty of anti-Semitism in England too. Notice how you don't fucking say all of Europe is responsible for the Holocaust.
Concentration camps.
When you say all Arabs,
Okay,
the point is,
there's no Jews in the Middle East. None.
anti-Semitic.
Can you listen to one thing? I have one thing important to say that I really want you just to listen to, okay? Avi Schlein said they did not leave Iraq because they were Zionists. They left.
Did like every single European country like donate all their Jews to the concentration camps? Were they like was their primary export in the fucking in World War II sending their Jews to Germany?
That's because they were afraid.
Yes.
You are denying his family's trauma. You are blaming his family's trauma on Zionists.
Some did. Well, then I would blame those. I would blame them if they did that. If they exported all their Jews to the. Oh, sorry, you belong in those German concentration camps. Better get you out of here.
And not
Talking about this?
Yeah, I would absolutely blame them. Yeah.
sure. I mean, I read it from his fucking book.
Sadly, they all. Ooh, but it created a planet for us. Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, like I said, it's getting late, so I just want to make one last.
That's what I needed. I needed a new planet, and I got it because I killed people. Yay.
Make all the excuses in the world to avoid any single criticism, any response. You, my friend, are a coward, and I am the fucking legend that responded to it, and I, with zero fucking.
I am the legend. Knocks water down. Destroys laptop.
You, my friend, are a coward, and I am
Dude, that's so
the
funny.
fucking legend that responded to it, and I, with zero hesitation. But you know why? Because I'm not a liar. I don't have to think about the shit that I say to justify it. You lie. That's why you can't do it, because you'll get caught in those lies.
This is base. This is fucking
By
base,
our
dude.
endeavor made you look good, then congratulations.
You don't think
Dude, it was plus 300 aura, minus 100 aura for kicking the water bottle down, and then continuing.
Ah non, je pense que j'allais me coucher, je suis fatiguée.
T'es sûr?
You don't think that it was a supreme confidence that I responded to it immediately?
Je te laisse là.
Even it took you 4 months to actually entertain the notion of
I
having
said
a
This
conversation.
guy is a total fucking.
Ouais, j'ai une heure ou deux pensé de me coucher.
Holy.
Moi aussi, je veux passer un peu de temps avec
Fucking
ça.
coping
I don't
loser.
know why you think that I'm
You watch
crazy.
11 hate videos on your channel. 11 hate videos. I watched this hero about you, Hassan. Do you want to
Surtout
actually
parce que j'ai commencé le DLC là, de l'Elite qui se bat pour Sanctuary, le dernier DLC de Borderlands 2.
He's watched all the videos.
Hein?
Parce que j'ai commencé le dernier DLC de Borderlands 2.
Ok.
Puis ben là, j'étais dans la marde parce que mes guns, c'était tout de la marde, genre, j'avais même pas de gun de feu. Puis là, ben, un des premiers mobs que j'ai fait badass, il m'a droppé un gun Maliwan arc-en-ciel de feu.
Ok.
C'est la couleur, la rareté du DLC, là. Iridescent, je pense, une connerie dans le genre. Fait qu'un gun de feu, Maliwan, de mon niveau, je suis retourné en business, là.
Hein?
Un gun de feu, Maliwan de mon niveau, je suis retourné en business.
Ah, c'est sûr.
Chancellor, moi je reste à poil. À poil.
The real answer is that Nick Dior.
2025, 110 stories. It was so insane, you didn't believe it.
But even if that's
You didn't believe your own mania.
Hassan,
Please, for the love of God.
Hassan, you talked about me 24 minutes a day, every day, 7 days a week for 60 days. Does that sound fucking reasonable?
After you presented yourself as a fucking significant force trying to literally deplatform Brokeout
How
and
you think it makes an Instagram story?
That's why. And that's you literally.
You already know much about economy about yourself.
Your own producers were begging you to stop talking about me. So much so that you had to set up a separate.
Ok, bon ben cet été, il y a officiellement Five Nights at Freddy's dans Dead by Daylight.
C'est quoi t'as dit?
Il va y avoir officiellement Five Nights at Freddy's dans Dead by Daylight.
Deeply anti-Semitic people fucking propaganda slayer.
LOL. Il était temps.
I've said that consistently for years.
He's literally mapped all these positions out. Hassan is trying to rewrite the debate he's still currently participating in.
Liar.
Ethan, you don't want anyone to resist against genocide. It is a fucking untenable position.
Kidnapping civilians? You're so pathetic, bro. Please.
And you constantly keep smearing me as a fucking anti-Semite at a time when the Trump administration, is blackbagging people.
Yeah, that's not happening. Don't call me out. That's not happening. Don't call me out. That's what you're doing.
Dude, how do you
Why
not
didn't you watch the Bad Evan
understand
video?
that you are playing a formative role when you don't talk about Mahmoud Khalil?
Just remember,
You're playing
everybody
a formative
watching.
role when you don't talk about the mass starvation of
By the
Gaza.
way, I advocated for Kamala to get elected. What'd you do? I told people to vote for Kamala. What'd you do? No, seriously. What'd you do? Did you?
Congratulations.
Do you think Kamala and Trump would have been equally bad?
I won't change anything from Joe Biden's policies, Harris.
It's not Joe Biden, it's Kamala Harris.
Not only did I go to the DNC,
It's
but I
not.
actually offered some pretty fucking valuable criticism to the Democratic Party that they didn't listen to, unfortunately.
Did they kick you out of the
Because
DNC?
they didn't listen to that valuable criticism, they lost. Why have you lied to
Dude, I went to the DNC and told them how to run their shit, and they didn't, and they lost. Dude, I'm sorry. I don't want to hear any ego-maxing Nick Diorio shit. Oh, he thinks people watch his live stream. Bro, this guy thinks that that politics revolves around him. This guy is total ego death mode right now. Holy shit, dude. Dude, guys, the biggest issue that we should hinge our fucking local American politics is a fucking desert war.
Je te laisse là.
Miles away from where everybody lives. That's the best way to save all those trans people we've been defending for the last fucking decade. That's the best way to do it. Hinge all of our bets on the fucking desert war, billions and trillions of miles away from where we live.
about me voting for Jill Stein, by the way? Can we talk about that?
I don't know.
What do you keep saying I voted for Jill Stein?
Who'd you vote for?
Countless hours shitting on Jill Stein.
I said I think you did.
Not to vote for Trump. I said that Donald Trump is significantly worse than Kamala Harris. And I've also, on top of that, called Jill Stein.
Yeah, you didn't endorse her.
The thing is, all these guys on social media are super radical, and they're not a representative of the modern Democratic Party. And all they think that their specific super niche issue is the be-all, end-all for life in America. So they would rather concede an election by saying, I'm gonna vote third party because they've got the best Palestine fucking take, and be like, all right, Trump, welcome back to office! Woo! All these people are cowardly losers.
And over again. But for some weird reason,